Hey, my name's Colin Petty, and this is a presentation for Core 202. In this presentation, we are going to look at Heidegger's beliefs concerning the role of the German university in a movement to improve the German nation, and also what Heidegger said would be necessary for the German university to get where he wanted it to be. So to start off, we're going to go back to the 1930s. In this time, Heidegger and others felt that the German nation needed revitalization. Along this thought, Heidegger wanted to break free from the concepts of truth, morality, and the good that came from the ideas of Plato. And instead, Heidegger wanted to focus on the nature of being. And much of his philosophical work surrounds this question. Um, Heidegger's ideals around the German university also revolved around his focus on the nature of being. I'm going to paraphrase a little here. Heidegger wanted the role of the German university to be facilitating self-examination so that students could determine the way and manner of their own realization and thus could become what they ought to be. This was his major goal, becoming what they ought to be. His teaching suggests that if students become what they ought to be, the nation they're a part of would be on its way to becoming what it's supposed to be. And now we're going to move on to how Heidegger wanted to make his goals and ideals into realities. Heidegger laid out some necessary steps that would need to take place for this facilitation of self-examination to occur in the German university. So we're going to start out with teachers' roles in Heidegger's ideal German university. Heidegger believed that it was essential for teachers to be strong leaders in his model of the German university. Heidegger wrote on this. He said, "The teachers of this university must really gain the strength for leadership. German students are seeking those leaders whom they want to evaluate their own purpose." So here Heidegger is showing the real need for teachers is to lead students in their search for their purpose, meaning, and nature of being. And so now we're going to move on to the role of students, according to Heidegger. So Heidegger believed that there are three bonds students must adhere to for the better of students, the German university, and the German nation as a whole. And on this, Heidegger wrote, the first bond binds to the national community. The second bond binds to the honor and destiny of the nation in the midst of all the other peoples. The third bond of the students binds them to the spiritual mission of the German people. The purpose of these bonds, and so basically the purpose of these bonds was to make the German students invested in the bettering of the German nation. Heidegger believed that the German university could play a huge part in the revitalization of the German nation. His idea was basically to invest in the youth of the country, and that's a concept that we still use today. So most of Heidegger's goals as rector of the German university aligned with his philosophical teachings, but he also got caught up in too much politics, and sometimes some of his philosophical beliefs got a little compromised. So you can't discount his teachings merely due to his entanglement with the whole Nazi mess. And now moving on, the major takeaway point from all this is that Heidegger thought the German university could play a major role in the revitalization of the German nation. He wanted to do this through facilitating self-examination in students so that they could be what they ought to be. And if all students realized their true meaning, the German nation would be better off as a whole. That's all. Thanks.